Welcome back, everyone, to a whole new episode of Dumb Laws from the Grave. I'm your host, Grave Knives, coming to you from the Graves Court today. Today, we are going to be beginning our journey on the round 2 of Dumb Laws. Now, I had originally gone out to seek out the original source material for this, for what I had done for the original series. However, unfortunately, it does not seem to be available at this time. But during that hunt, I came across this. So I feel it appropriate and desirable to make round 2 for every state. And this is the beginning, Alabama. We're going to be doing everything alphabetically, by the way, just so you know. With that all being said, let's see what they got. Let's see, starting us off here. It is illegal for Alabama. It is illegal to dress up as a priest on Halloween. Let's see, where whoever being in a public place fraudulently pretends by garb or outward array to be a minister of any religion or nun, priest, rabbi, or other member of the clergy is guilty of a misdemeanor and upon conviction shall be punished by a fine not exceeding $500 or confinement in the county jail for not more than 1 year. Holy shit, 1 year. by both such fine and imprisonment. Son of a bitch. I guess that's a repeat offender. Definitely, it says down here, Acts 1965. I'm going to say that it was made in 1965. Also, the amount of the fine in comparison to a year in jail makes sense. It's like $500 nowadays would not be in comparison. Maybe like $50,000, maybe a year in jail. Yeah, I could see that. Who knows? Maybe they throw you in jail nowadays for five grand. They probably would, but still, $500 for a year. I guess in some of those really shady circumstances, because there are some fucking shit laws out there. They can really take you for a run. It is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. Section 13A-12-1. Certain acts prohibited on Sunday. Apparently, we just went ahead and took a chapter out of the Bible. It even shows the Bible. See, look, they're like, we just went ahead and took a chunk out of the Bible and threw it out here. Any person who compels his child, apprentice, or servant to perform any labor on Sunday except customary domestic duties of daily necessity or comfort or works of charity, or engages in shooting, hunting, gaming, card playing, or racing on that day, or who, being a merchant or shopkeeper, druggist accepted, pharmacist, I'm sure, keeps open store on Sunday shall be fined not less than $10 nor more than $100. It's an old one, you can tell just by the prices, and may also be imprisoned in the county jail or sentenced to hard labor for the county for not more than 3 months. Son of a bitch, 3 months of hard labor? Son of a bitch. However, the provisions of this section shall not apply to the operations of railroads, airlines, bus lines, communications, public utilities, or steamboats or other vessels navigating the waters of the state, or to any manufacturing establishment which is required to be kept in constant operation, or to the sale of gasoline or other motor fuels or motor oils. Nor, thank God there's a period there. Nor shall this section prohibit the sale of newspapers or the operation of newspaper stands or automobile repair shops, florist shops, fruit stands, ice cream shops, or parlors, lunch stands, or restaurants, delicatessens, or plants engaged in the manufacture or sale of ice, provided that such business establishments are not operated in conjunction with some of the other type of businesses which is prohibited by this section. It shall also be unlawful to engage in motorcycle and automobile racing on Sunday, whether admission is charged or not, except that this proviso, except that this proviso shall not be constructed to prevent any municipality from passing ordinances prohibiting such racing on Sunday. What the fuck? I mean, it's the southern states up to the northeastern, I'd say, have the heaviest in, you know, if you will, Bible laws, if you will, Sunday laws. However, I'm kind of surprised that we did not see the, they said ice cream stands were open, but I didn't see the one about the no ice cream cone in your back pocket, damn it. Let's see, you must have windshield wipers on your car. How the fuck is that a dumb law? How the fuck is... Anyways, it's undoubted we're going to have something like that, no, obviously. No one may use a funk ball in the city limits. Obviously, not that kind of funk ball. Stink or funk balls, it shall be unlawful to sell, dispose of, or give away, or use within the city limits of its police jurisdiction articles known as stink balls or funk balls or anything of like nature, by whatever name, known or called, the purpose of which is to create disagreeable odors to the great discomfort of persons coming in contact thereof, or therewith. So I'm noticing with this one right here, it says city limits. As before, it would define, it'd say these are state laws, here are city or county laws. It seems like we're possibly just getting a mix of all in this. So take that into mind too. These are not necessarily state laws. These could very well just be city ordinances or county ordinances. They're not necessarily all state statutes that reach across the entire state. So, which I want to say a city ordinance is a lot easier to pass than a state statute. No person with a city may possess confetti. Real problems, man. Use, sale, etc. of confetti. It shall be unlawful and an offense against the city for any person to have in possession, keep, store, manufacture, sell, offer for sale, give away, or handle any confetti or other substance or matter similar thereto, but not serpentine. What? But not serpentine? What the fuck is serpentine? Within the city or within its police jurisdiction. Okay, so again, this one, it's definitely a city law, but don't let them. I swear to God, if you get fucking, they find your fingerprints on some confetti, they're gonna know you handled it. They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. It is illegal to spit. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, it is illegal to spit in public. Section 980.08.010. Spitting. It is unlawful for any person to spit upon the sidewalks or upon the floors of places of worship, buses, public halls, theaters, or other public places. How is that a stupid fucking law? How is that a dumb law? Tell me now. Because I'm sorry, but I'll debate it as soon as you say, yeah, it is a stupid law with Hep C. It's a stupid law. No. It's a fucking... It makes sense. It's not dumb. It's just... It makes sense, man. The fact that it's even on here confuses me. I mean, is stuff like that saying, like, it sucks that they had to make a law? It's stupid that they had to fucking put this on the books. It's dumb that we had to spend the fucking money for our legislators to do this because people wouldn't stop. Maybe that. I could see the dumbness in it there. But to say, no, you can't, shouldn't be spitting on a bus or in a place of worship. No, not really. I don't think you should. However, I do notice here that it does say like 1977 up here. And it makes me kind of feel like that law is not quite as old as I was maybe thinking it was. Because I was actually coming off as thinking, like a much older time when more people were using chewing tobacco and spitting. Who knows? Who knows? It is illegal to marry any animal that is not already a relation. It should be illegal to write a fucking sentence that is not complete. It is illegal to marry. I'm seeing two different ways that could come out. It is illegal to marry any animal that is not already in a relationship, or it is illegal to marry any animal that is not already a relation to you. Do tell. No, this is my Aunt Cow. This is my Aunt Bessie. We've decided to get married. So she's technically already in of a relation to me because she's my aunt and married in. And now we're going to be together. Courting couples must not hold hands while dining in a restaurant. Again, it sounds like a rather Bible, religious influence in that law. And it sounds very, very possible for a period of time, not modern day by any means. It is a criminal offense to call a policeman shitface. I'm going to take a stab in the dark that it's not just a criminal offense to call them shitface or fuckface or dickface or anything else of that nature. When you make verbal harassments toward a law enforcement officer, I don't doubt for a second that there's a law saying that it's illegal. So, I mean, it's just kind of their plug. That reminds me a lot of the Sasquatch law out of Washington back in the day on the old dumb laws, because it's the law was saying don't harass any undocumented animal, whereas somebody just took out the one part and was like, don't harass Bigfoot. I guess that counts, you son of a bitch. Anyways, elephants must not be placed in electric ovens. Picture thanks to Joshua. Very clever. Elephants must not be placed in electric ovens. Very nice picture. Again, I'm going to take a gander that it probably has something to say like you're not allowed to place any living animal into the oven or electric oven, I guess. I don't know. Use of motor boats forbidden on city streets. Now, this is where you may think that that's dumb and not possible, but I'm here to tell you that Alabama, I could definitely see somebody fixing their boat up with wheels and driving down the damn road with it. 100%. Absolutely. So maybe I could see a number of people like, well, I don't see why it matters. I'm in the daylight. I'm using my turn signal. Come on now. I could see it. It is illegal to, I mean, again, it's probably also like lawnmowers or anything else. I mean, it's probably not just boats, but it's probably, one of the motor vehicles that are not, that are forbidden on city streets, boats or lawnmowers or possibly tractors as well. Who knows? Depends on the sizing of the town. Depends on how rural of an area it is. It is illegal to stab yourself to gain someone's pity. Damn. Wait a minute. I'm not in Alabama. I'm still good to go. Well, I guess who's going to get pity and more views on his channel? No. Every person, nope, this one continues on a little bit further, so let's read. Every person who, with design to disable himself from performing a legal duty, existing or anticipated, shall inflict upon himself an injury whereby he is so disabled, and every person who shall so injure himself with intent to avail himself of such injury to excite sympathy or obtain alms, or some charitable relief shall be guilty of a felony. Damn. So there's a couple different ways I could see that going, actually, and being plausible. Like when they said legal duty, like hurting yourself, like saying, oh, I twisted my ankle, and you actually did it on purpose to get out of like maybe jury duty or something. I think that'd be a bit of an extreme for them to like be like, well, you got a felony now, asshole. Because we had Larry outside your house because we knew we were going to send this to you, and so we had him ready with the camera. So we watched you throw yourself down the steps, and anyways, what would the other one be? Maybe if like you're claiming trying to get donations and funds, so you're like, oh, I got stabbed, or like saying that you got jumped by somebody for a reason in the streets of Chicago or something, and like it wasn't legit, and like you were just wanting sympathy, or yeah, I can actually see that. Yeah, no, I mean like even people out there who are trying to get like faking cancer or some other thing, that's probably also what this applies to. So it's probably pretty widespread. Palm reading requires a $10 permit. Section 23-21 required it shall be unlawful for any fortune teller as defined in Section 23-1 to practice fortune telling within the city or its police jurisdiction without first obtaining a permit, therefore, in compliance with the provision of this chapter. I can hear it now. Look, I don't believe in this hokey ass fortune telling business, but I guess if they want to do it, that's fine. They just got to give us money and we'll let them do it. They want to. I can see it. I can see that discussion in the law room, in the not courtroom, but whoever's writing it, wherever, whenever. I could see it taking place easily. $10 isn't that much, so that definitely tells you that was again an oldie. I think that's like the cost of like a yard sale. Hell, a yard sale permit's probably more than $10 nowadays. It is illegal to ride bicycles on the interstate highways. Why does that even need to be a fucking law? Section 39-13, pedestrians, bicycles, etc. are prohibited on certain interstate highways. It shall be unlawful of an offense against the city for pedestrians to be upon or for any person to operate a bicycle, a non-motorized vehicle, or a fucking big wheel. Sorry, a big wheel just came to mind. Someone trying to roll a big wheel down the fucking interstate. Motorized vehicle or a motor-driven cycle that have less than 10 horsepower on any part of Interstate Highway 10 or Interstate Highway 65, including the entrance roads thereto, at any place within the city and its police jurisdiction. Okay, out here in Illinois, we have a minimum. You have to be going at least 45 miles an hour or don't be on the highway. Take a frontage road or a different other road. Like the interstate? No, it's like 70 miles an hour. Don't be riding a bike down there. You'll get your ass creamed. And not in the way you probably want. Anyways. All women of uncertain chastity must be off the streets by 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Uncertain chastity. I'm not too sure what the fuck that means, but like what your marriage status is, or like if you're a virgin or not. What the hell? No idea. But again, sounds like a very Bible-driven law, or regulation. Spray string and snap pops are illegal. Sounding similar to the confetti. Section 3915, spray string, snap pops, or similar matter of substances thereto prohibited. It shall be unlawful and an offense against the city for any person to have in his or her possession, keep, store, use, manufacture, sounding very similar to the confetti, sell, offer for sale, give away, or handle any spray string, snap pops, or other matter or substances similar thereto within the city or within its police jurisdiction. Editor's note, ordinance number 39-002, adopted January 4th, 1994, did not specifically amend this code. Hence, inclusion was at the discretion of the editor. Oh, okay. So I guess they made an amendment maybe to the confetti thing, perhaps, and they didn't include this one. But did they include the confetti? Since that message wasn't on the confetti, though, I'm guessing confetti's still illegal. Son of a bitch. And actually, what was it saying? 1994? Like, they were still having that fucking problem and talking about this shit. The real problems in the 90s was spray string and confetti. It is illegal. Fucking shit. It is illegal to spit orange peels out on the sidewalk. Spitting or throwing fruit skins, etc. on sidewalks, etc. No person shall spit or throw fruit skins, parings, or peelings upon any sidewalk on the city or upon the floor of any bus operated within the city or in the public elevator, public buildings, public theater, or public hall, or upon any walkway in any public park in the public city. They love the fucking word public in this movie. I'm not in this movie, in this fucking little bit here. Jesus. Public. Although in my head, while they were going on about like fruit peelings, I'm like picturing Luigi throwing banana peelings out the fucking side of the bus and making cars go off the road and shit. Kind of entertaining in my head. Bathing in city fountains is prohibited. Washing in, tampering with, etc. fountains. Any person who at any time washes his hands, face, or feet. Why is it just his? Why is it not there? Any person who at any time washes his hands, face, or feet in any of the fountains in the city or obstructs the flow of water into the same or any manner tampers with or abuses such fountain and or its fixtures shall be punished as provided in Chapter 1, Article 2, City Code 1991. I don't know what the fucking punishment would be. I'm kind of interested to know, but I would kind of think that they need to update that because I could see that being a loophole for possibly women, or, you know, like, oh, well, sorry, I'm not a man. It says his hands. Sorry. These are her hands. I'll let you get these hands. Women may not wear a lewd dress in public. Section 39, 112. Same, indecent dress, etc. It shall be unlawful for any person to appear in any public place in a state of nudity. Okay, I'm with you there. Or indecent or lewd dress. Or make an indecent exposure of his person. Again, just his, not their person. Or to perform or commit any indecent act. And before you're like, oh, well, guys are the most likely, I guarantee you this was wrote in a time when it was probably referring to probably, street, red light district, sex workers, if you will, whatever you want to call them. Hookers. Not trying to offend, just saying. At the time, that's probably what it was more in line to. But again, like I said, this was a Bible-driven state, for laws. So them saying, obviously you wouldn't see a short skirt, that goes up to their butt cheeks back in 1965 or something, which is code 1965. I'm assuming that is the year when it became. Anyways, let's see. If an animal control officer is in uniform, it signifies to the public that he is an animal control officer. Oh my God, do we really want to? All right. Section 4-4, resisting, interfering with, etc. Animal control officers. All right, this already sounds a lot more complicated than just like how they came off with it. It shall be unlawful for any person by physical act or to interfere with, resist, molest, obstruct, hinder, or impede any animal control officer in the discharge of such officer's duties, or to assault, attack, strike, or to use any type of physical force toward any such animal control officer while in discharge of such officer's duty. Okay, so it's saying don't fuck with them when they're doing their job? Don't assault them? I don't see that to be a dumb law. I'm struggling to see that a dumb law. Now, how this is worded at the top is fucking dumb. When an animal control officer of the city is engaged in the discharge of such officer's duty, and this is or should be evident to a reasonable, prudent person then present, or if such animal control officer is known to such person to be an animal control officer of the city, or such animal control officer is in regular animal control uniform, or exhibits an animal control badge or credentials, or otherwise identifies him or herself as such animal control officer, it shall or itself shall be prima facie notice to such person that the animal control officer is such and is then and there so acting as an animal control officer. This summer, animal control officer coming to your neighborhood. Fucking fuck. It's kind of like the public word, man. They just like to reuse the same word over and over and over in case you forgot who the fuck they were talking about. It is illegal to open an umbrella on the street for fear of it spooking horses. I wonder what the punishment might have been for this one. Would it depend on whether you actually succeeded in spooking a horse? What time period was this? I'm sorry, if the sheriff of the town was having to walk through the muddy road and he seen you do this, he probably would fucking pistol whip you. I don't know. Fuck. It is unlawful to howl at ladies inside the city limits. This law was passed during a time in which there were many military personnel in the area in order to quiet the young men who would howl at the ladies, embarrassing them. And I'm sure it worked perfectly because a law fixes everything. Jesus. It's unlawful to wear women's pumps with sharp high heels. There was a court case involving a woman who got a heel of one of her shoes caught in a sidewalk grating, fell and injured herself. The city subsequently passed this law in order to protect itself from future litigation. I wonder if they at least fixed the fucking sidewalk grating. They didn't want to fix it. It was just easier to say, no one's allowed to wear pumps anymore. Don't you fucking do it. You're getting a ticket if you do. Selling peanuts in Lee County after sundown on Wednesday is illegal. A search of current municipal codes containing the word peanut does not turn up any laws still on the books. It sure seems like there would be a good story behind this one. Maybe a popcorn vendor was scheduled to pass through town and to peddle his product on Wednesday nights. Maybe the county had a lot of kids who were allergic to peanuts. Who knows? Fuck, I don't know. Maybe it's a more darker story. You know, a peanut vendor came to town and fucking nearly killed half of its children's population because nobody fucking knew half the kids were allergic to peanut. Or, no, I don't know. It could be a number of things. I mean, that would be kind of strange if that was actually, I mean, if it was my reason why, that I would be surprised if it was actually because of like anaphylactic shock prevention, because there was too many people that were turning up with it, and maybe at a time when they didn't have, EpiPens so readily available, probably, when the fuck did they even come out with those? Shit. Fun thing to look up. You should check it out afterwards. Educate yourself. It is illegal for a husband to beat his wife with a stick larger in diameter than his thumb. Oh yes, the rule of thumb. Remember this one from the fucking Boondock Saints? Just when he was like, okay, the rule of thumb here. And she's like, the rule of thumb? Let me tell you a story about the rule of thumb. It's like, calm the fuck down. I'm telling you how to cut this fucking beef here. Calm down. It's not like he was saying, okay, bitch, let's get to beating. The rule of thumb, okay, we got a little bit more to read here than just that. Okay, the rule of thumb originated in Rome under the rule of Romulus in approximately 753 BC. It dictated how large of a stick that a husband could use to beat his wife. Almost 1,000 years later, women briefly had rights if their beatings were unjustified. However, those rights were short-lived, lasting only about 100 years. We found what appears to be a direct quote in this book that since the Jasper husband is accountable for his wife's misbehavior, he has the legal right to chastise her with a stick no larger around than his thumb. However, a search of current Jasper, Alabama municipal code does not turn up a current law on the books. Well, of fucking course it's not. You know how much hell they would catch? They probably fucking were like, okay, get that one out of here, and like, not today. We have enough going on. Let's get rid of that one. Not to mention, like, a lot of the laws that we see that you can actually look up in the information for online, a lot of those are mostly modern laws. I mean, yes, sure, some laws people have gone back and, put up the, some laws from the past and the actual legal legislation online. Are all of them there from ever since the beginning? No, they are not all there. I would be shocked if they were actually all there. I seriously doubt they all are. I'm sure a great number, especially city ordinances, county ordinances, maybe the state statutes you could find, but as far as like city and county, a lot of those are probably going to be on paper in a courthouse somewhere. So, good luck, Blue jeans are illegal on Noble Street. When searching current municipal codes, we found 24 codes that specifically target Noble Street in Anniston, Alabama. They range from jaywalking to parking to where pool halls, billboards, and outdoor dining are and are not allowed. So it seems logical that one time there could be an address code. I guess it is against the law to have an ice cream cone in your pocket, your back pocket. Ice cream cones in the back pocket. Legend has it that horses love ice cream, and this was a way to lure someone else's horse to follow you home, i.e. steal the horse. This law shows up in multiple areas, so this may well have been a low-key way to find a new horse. I've heard that before. I mean, I don't know if you remember, we came across it in a number of states that of like putting ice cream cones in your back pocket, it being illegal. No, never an explanation as to why though. But that's pretty cool. It actually gives us a slight explanation, if it's true, as to a reasoning as to why it could have been true. Neat. It is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. Did I just go through a fucking time loop? What just happened? What the hell? It seems okay. This one seems to be a little different, though. It seems like there is a story behind this one, but we haven't been able to dig it up. We assume that this was a well-intentioned law meant to maintain dignity and order during church. With the current mustache craze, maybe somebody could give it a try and see what happens. You just said you couldn't find anything to justify that it's real. Well, thank you for coming back later on and letting us know that that's not a real law. Even though you titled the other one prior that listed off a number of things that were real laws, but it had nothing to do with the mustache. Incestuous marriages are perfectly legal. Are we really surprised that this one, Section 31-1-3, issue of incestuous marriages not deemed illegitimate? The issue of any incestuous marriage before the same is annulled shall not be deemed illegitimate. You had to lead off with, are we really surprised? Men may not spit in front of members of the opposite sex. And of course, they have a little witty comment. I wonder how the new transgender laws might impact this one. Har, har, har. Probably not that much. I mean, I'm sure it's not even a fucking law. It's probably just a spitting period. Considering, it says, oh, don't spit in front of unless it's in a completely different city where they were like, yeah, go ahead and spit so long as it's not in front of a woman. Possible, I guess. It is legal to drive it is legal to drive the wrong way down a one-way street if you have a lantern attached to the front of your car. This may have been perfectly acceptable in times gone by when there were few cars on the road and the majority of traffic was either horse-drawn or bicycle or pedestrian. Just go slow and remain well lit. Yeah, don't try it today. That's not going to get you out of trouble just by saying, I got a lantern on the front, or I taped a flashlight to the hood of my car. I got headlights. Doesn't that count? Bear wrestling matches are illegal. Holy shit. Son of a bitch. Okay. Apparently, Greco-Roman displays of masculinity became popular in times gone by, prompting the passage of this law. Section 13A-12-5, unlawful bear exploitation penalties. Section A, any person commits the offense of unlawful bear exploitation if he or she knowingly does any of the following. Promotes, engages in, or is employed at a bear wrestling match. Receives money for the administration of another person to place receives money for the admission of another person to a place kept for bear wrestling. So I guess if you're renting the place out, that's what they're saying. Sorry, if you're like renting your place out to some bear wrestlers, you're going to be held liable too, even if you have nothing to do with it. Sales, purchases, possesses, or trains a bear for bear wrestling for purposes of exploitation subjects. Are they talking about like bears wrestling each other or bears wrestling people? For purposes of exploitation, subjects bear to surgical here we go. Surgical alteration in any form, including but not limited to declawing, tooth removal, and severing tendons. That is definitely a bear versus a human because humans are too bitch mode to actually take a bear fist on, fucking full on without disabling them. If you think I'm wrong in it, please forward me your information. I can remove your nails and all your teeth and cut your tendons and see how well you box in a cage after probably being half starved too. Just saying. Let's see. Unlawful bear exploitation is a Class B felony and is punishable as provided by law. So really, that's a dumb law, huh? You think that's a dumb law? I don't think that's a dumb law. I think, torturing bears like that, there should be a fucking law against that. It's fucking stupid. It is illegal to flick boogers into the wind. Go ahead and flick your boogers, folks, just not into the wind. The act of placing salt on a railroad track is punishable by death? It seems pretty extreme, don't it? You never guess how this one may have come about. At one time, Alabama was an open range state. So livestock roamed freely. Anyone who or entity that caused harm to the livestock was responsible for the market value of that animal. This includes the railroad company being responsible for cattle that were hit by trains. hit on by trains. Hey, hey, cattle. Hey there, Bessie. I heard you and old Farmer McGee split up. A common scam in those days for farmers to lure sick or injured animals via a salt lick to the train tracks. When the animal was hit by the train, there was no longer any evidence that that it was sick or injured, so the railroad company would be liable for the full market value of a healthy animal. That's pretty fucking smart. Since there was no way to prove that this was the case after the fact, this law passed in order to outlaw the farmer creating the circumstance for the loss of their animals. But would there be a lot of salt left on the track? Like, well, I guess there would be some pounded down salt onto the track. I guess if they found salt there, yeah. That's still damn clever, though. I mean, shady as fuck, but way to play the system, I guess. Face masks may not be worn in public. This may have to do with Alabama's racist history and the public display of the Ku Klux Klan outfits. But guess what? I guarantee you they are saying, wear that mask now. If you're watching this years down the road, and hopefully down the road we're not still doing this thing, but it's 2020 right now, so masks are a thing, which personally myself, I'm loving. But anyways, let's see here. In a divorce, women are able to retain all property they own prior to marriage. This provision does not apply to men. Of course. Separate property of wife, property held prior to marriage or acquired after marriage, all property of the wife held by her previous to the marriage or to which she may become entitled after the marriage in any manner, is the separate property of the wife and is not subject to the liabilities of the husband. Yeah, that actually, like, that's also saying that, like, if, like, she takes the car, she's liable for the fucking payments. She takes the house, she's liable for the payments, unless it's written some alimony to where, which it probably is. Anyways, it is illegal to impersonate a member of the what the shit? Fraudulently pretending to be a clergyman, whoever being in a public place, fraudulently pretends to, by garb or outward array, to be a minister of any. We've already read this one. It is illegal to intentionally maim oneself to escape duty. There's another one repeater. We're not reading those. They're repeaters. The driver of a car may not be barefooted. There are lots of references to this law, but it may be directed towards the drivers or passengers of motorcycles. Definitely don't fucking be on a motorcycle barefooted. Don't do that. I can say from experience that driving, like having sandals on or something and kicking them off while I was driving, it did not feel the same. Like, you just don't have, I don't know. For me, it felt totally different than having the solidness of my shoe to apply to the brake or the gas pedal. But that's me. But I was always under the impression that it was illegal even here to do so. The game of dominoes may not be played on Sunday. Is it the full thing again? It is. Holy shit. Only we don't have a picture of the Bible in this one. Let's see. One more, everybody. That's it. Okay, so it is illegal for a driver to be blindfolded while operating a motor vehicle. Obstruction of the driver's view or driving mechanism. No person shall drive a vehicle when it is loaded or when there are in the front seat such a number of persons as to obstruct the view of the driver to the front or sides of the vehicles, as to interfere with the driver's control over the driving mechanism of the vehicle. No passenger in the vehicle shall ride in such position as to interfere with the driver's view ahead or to the sides, or to interfere with his control over the. How is that a dumb law? Don't fuck with someone while they're driving. How is that a dumb law? Whatever. Okay. Some of these laws weren't really as dumb. They actually make sense in a lot of aspects. I mean, if you really think about it. So definitely, I want to say a lot of these are probably user submitted. So don't take them to heart. Some of them do come with, as you can see, codes and, times, date, where you can actually look up the information and find them. But obviously I don't see this being a dumb law. This one in particular. We've seen some dumb stuff. We've seen some logical stuff. We've seen some stuff that I just don't even fucking believe. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, next time coming back around, like I said, I'm doing these alphabetically, so next time will be Alaska. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and until next time, From the grave to the grave, I'm Grave Knives, and I'll see you then.